Welcome to the Sunny Words channel, where I share everything under the sun that makes me happy. This episode of Spill the Beans, I'll be diving into one of my favorite pastimes, shopping. And of course, the only way that I love to do it is thrift. So stay tuned for some tips of the thrift. It's really important to dress for the thrift. Very simple. A strapless bra so you can try on different tops, or even a camisole for those see-through items. Always go with a t-shirt, leggings, easy to get around in but also easy to slip off, and maybe some running shoes or slip-on. And that's one of the perfect layered combinations for even when those dressing rooms are jam-packed. You can slip on things right in the aisle without being completely unclothed. Keep the hair simple. As much as I love to change my hairstyles, I know when it's time to go thrifting, I don't want a style that's going to be hard to get pullovers, t-shirts, or any type of article of clothing over my head that I can't unbutton and unzip easily. Skip the makeup. Keep those slay beat faces for the special events or other occasions. Don't go with tons of heavy makeup on your face. That's going to get all over the clothing that you try on, and it's going to make you feel like you wasted your time if you did it yourself, or your money if you paid someone else. Know your size. It's important to know the sizes that you wear in the current clothing. Not something that you're going to store up or something that you don't quite fit but are hanging on to for the times when you decide to get serious about working out. Know your current sizes. Understand that even though you're shopping thrift, it's good to know what you can get in and out of so you avoid a lot of frustration. This would be a great time to invest in a tape measure if you don't already own one. That way, if you don't know your size, you can take your measurements and also always have one handy in your purse. The other benefit and flip side to sizes is being familiar with how the measurements convert to the standard sizes. You're going to come across a lot of unique brands, so it's always handy to Google size charts for that brand. Out of all the information on the tag, size is a starting point. Again, we're talking thrift here, so a lot of times you also need to consider the style and the cut. Know what's flattering to your shape. And don't be afraid to try on new and different items. Another great tip is to know what kind of shopper you are. I used to think that I had to get up very early on the days that I chose to shop because I didn't want to miss any deals. But I am a better productive midday versus early morning. So don't go crazy worrying about those deals that you missed out earlier in the day. The people that those deals were for, I'm sure they grabbed them up. Whatever's left is exactly for you. Know your fuel and get energy.
How you doing today?
Good, how are you? Just like grocery shopping, you don't want to go hungry. It's going to be a distraction. You're going to make rush and irrational decisions. Because just because you're shopping thrift and saving money, you have to make sure you don't shop unnecessarily. And being hungry will definitely alter your decision making. It's also a really great idea to map your routes between stores. Going the extra mile so you don't have to go the extra mile. If we're trying to save money, we want to make sure we're not wasting gas. Sometimes I like to start with the stores that are furthest away from home and work backwards. So my first stop this particular trip was Value World. Value World is fairly new to me, within maybe the last year or so, but it's still one of my preferred places to go looking, especially for children's items. So, here we go. Let's see what they got. So it looks like they had all clothing half off that was with an orange tag. So that's obviously what I'm going to be looking for the entire time. Value World setup is really nice. Very clean, organized, easily labeled. And I love that the thrift stores do put out things in season. So if you're looking for those summer and spring items, they're there. But you can also find unique things like this wool hat. And there are times that you don't really find anything at all. But don't feel pressured to buy. There are more stores. Now the only thing that I don't care for about Value World is this particular one, locally for me, doesn't have fitting rooms. You cannot use the bathroom. Even when I'm away, OT, there's never much love when we go OT. I pray to make it back in one piece. Got a Hennessy in my hand. One more time before I go. I have powers taking a hold on me. I need one dance. Got a Hennessy in my hand. One more time before I go. I have powers taking a hold on me. The biggest things I love about thrifting is knowing my stores and being familiar with those that are in my area and knowing the difference. All thrift is not created equal. There's a huge difference between a regular thrift store that takes donations, one that does consignment, one that's a vintage shop. All in all, they don't all mean the same thing. So ask around. If you love to shop and you love to save money, thrifting is one of the best combinations of the two. Talk to people, and when you go in the stores, talk to employees. They are trained and ready to tell you all the details about how that store operates. So if you know me, you know that my next stop had to be the Salvation Army. Now, I absolutely love the Salvation Army, you guys. Why? That's where I learned how to thrift. I'm most familiar with all the locations in my area, the hours, the sales, the deals, the specials. I actually worked for them at one point in time. That's how much I love the Salvation Army. Why do I shop the Salvation Army? Because of the savings. Of course, I also love a good cause. How do I shop the Salvation Army? Well, my number one secret and biggest tip is I only go on Fridays and Saturdays when they have the 5 for 5 sales, meaning 5 clothing with the color tag for $5, $5.30 after tax. But you can't beat that. So as soon as you walk in, you want to look for that information right at the front of the store that lets you know what tag clothing is on sale. Today was tan tag, so I only looked at items with the tan tag when I was looking for things to buy for the 5 for 5 sale. Now, the exceptions come with the outerwear and some of the bigger items that you're looking for. Today on my list was shoes for my son. I like that the Salvation Army tends to color coordinate things, even though everything is not always sized. It's still a good way to find what you're looking for pretty fast. Like those have-to-have items, a classic white tee. Another good thing to familiarize yourself with is how to read a tag. After the size, you're going to be looking for the fabrics. Know the difference between synthetic and natural fibers, as well as the care instructions. The more you know, the better you are in your decision making. My son is an athlete, and now he's really into basketball. So I was able to find him some Nike Air Flights for $20. They're a little beat up, could maybe use a cleaning and some new laces, but for what they're for, knowing that he's gonna play basketball in them at the park and at YMCA, they're perfect. So my grand total, including the shoes and the clothing, a few DVDs for the girls, was $37.05. Now another tip is to keep it clean. I always carry hand sanitizer with me, maybe some wet wipes, to make sure that after I've done touching all the clothing, that I can sanitize and clean my hands, depending on what I'm choosing to go to next.
Diamonds on my neck, got Patron in my cup. Yeah! If you want it, come and get it, shorty. I don't give a f***. See, it's Friday night, and I just got paid. She had a hard week, now it's time to celebrate. DJ play my club music. Girls wanna freak and back it all up on my. Just put a little pep with it, not roll no temps with it. Pop it, push it, rock it, roll it, can't control it. I come hold it, it's all in fun, so take a chance, just get on.
And when I don't find what I'm looking for resale, I go to Target. Okay, y'all. So I just pulled up to the Twilight Zone, aka Target. But I also have tips to shop at stores when you are on a budget and stores like Target just suck you in. So here we go. Don't let the shiny floors and pretty merchandising fool you. We have a list, so let's stay focused. I make a beeline for the section that I know that I'm shopping for. Again, we're on for shoes. And I also make it a point to only go to the clearance section of each area of the stores. There I can really find some great markdowns before I start drifting off and looking at some other items. My all-time favorite movie. And never have my favorite kind bars, which are the oat and honey. Never. I want one so bad. Only $300. I think I'm doing okay. I'm staying focused. So I made it out of Target, y'all, only spending $50. Well, a little less than that. 40. The key is to stay focused. I was on a mission today to find my kids some shoes, a few DVDs, buy some quick little things for dinner, but mainly go in knowing that if you deviate from that list, you're not going to be happy with yourself. Well, that's all she wrote. Thanks for rocking out with me. And most importantly, I hope that some of these tips help you to enjoy shopping as much as I do. Next time, we'll be going into the fitting rooms. So stay tuned to @SunnyWears for more.